Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here with another 12-win Paladin Arena. So we're going into the draft here. I think Saboteur is a really good card. Blocks out hero powers, which is fantastic. Here we want a 2-drop, and I'd go with the Trog over the Loot Hoarder. The Trog's got 3 health. I think that's actually quite valuable. Plus, it gains attack when they play spells. I think it's decent there. I'd value the 3 health. Boulder Fist Ogre here I think is absolutely insane. It's one of the best 6 drops in all of Arena due to the attack power, but also the 7 health. Consecration here is a good potential board clear or minion clear. Shielded Minibot, however, I think is just the best 2-drop in Arena, so we're going to go with the Minibot. Murloc Knight or the Worgen Infiltrator. The Murloc Knight's such an amazing card. It's a game-winning card because you summon a Murloc and you summon a Silverhand Recruit. You're just filling up the board. Fantastic. The Swampoos is good because people play weapons in Arena, but the Truesilver Champion is a minion clear on turn 4. You're going to go with that, absolutely. All 3 of these cards are fantastic in their own way. Gilblin Stalker is stealthed, Ogre Brute is one of the best 3-drops, but we want a taunt. So we're going to go with the Shield Master here. I think taunts are so important, particularly as I think Arena is generally quite aggressive. So taunts are good, especially a 5 health taunt. Flesh Eating Ghoul is okay. Taunt Medic, don't rate it very highly. Stranglethorn Tiger, amazing 5-drop. It survives a fireball. It can't be targeted by a fireball. By Mage, it survives Flame Strike. It's great. Silent Knight here, I think, is the pick. Pit Fight is really good because of the 6 health, but Silent Knight has a Divine Shield, yep, and Stealth. We're going to go for it. Okay, we want some early game here, so I think the Young Priestess is the way to go. If it survives, it can do a lot of work, buffing up the health of your other minions. I dislike the Venture Co here. It's a game-losing card sometimes because your minions cost more. So it can knock you out of the game. I think the Stalker is the pick. Force Tank Max, fantastic late game drop with the Divine Shield. Ship's Cannon is a decent 2-drop, but the Shredder, the most valuable card of all because of the Death Rattle. We're going to pick the Piloted Shredder. Okay, the Silent Knight here, or the Bloodfin Raptor. We do need more 2-drops, but I think a second Silent Knight is pretty good. It's pretty good to have. Yes, it only does 2 attack, but the Divine Shield and the Stealth do make up for it. Okay, Young Dragonhawk is rubbish, the Wisp is rubbish. We're left with one option, the Cult Master, which is a really good card in Paladin, so you can throw your Silverhand Recruits in. Mad Bomber, it's a 2-drop, it's an okay 2-drop, but RNG is not always on your side, so Dark Iron Dwarf is insane because of the 2 attack buff that it can give to a minion. DID is one of the best Arena cards. Okay, we need 2-drops here. We need early game. So Direwolf Alpha it is, I think. The Undertaker is rubbish. Voodoo Doctor, some people rate that card, but the Pit Fighter is so much better. It's got 6 health, it's a 5-drop. We're going to go with the Pit Fighter. Okay, Argent Squire or Acidic Swampoos here. Both are really good. People play weapons in Arena. So I think Acidic Swampoos can be a game swinging card, potentially. Either early or late game. Okay, Avenge or the Spectral Knight. Spectral Knight, again, can't be targeted by spells. Great against mages. But Avenge is an interesting card. It can swing the early game. So we go with Avenge. Twilight Guardian, we're lacking Dragon Synergy. Mysterious Challenger, we're lacking Secrets. We only have 1. Piloted Sky Golem, really good because of the Death Rattle. I think it's worth going for the Sky Golem here. It beats the other 2 cards hands down. Tournament Medic, forget it. Dancing Swords, you do not want to give your opponent a card unless you really have to. So Argent Protector, fantastic card. Game swinging card, protecting a minion with a Divine Shield. Really good option here to go for. Really, really good option to go for. Lowly Squire, Argent Squire, Stormwind Knight. Stormwind Knight is okay, it has charge, so it can clear a minion potentially. But I think the Argent Squire is good for the early game. It's got Divine Shield, so we're going to pick that. We need something for turn 3, so I think Razor Fen Hunter is the way to go here. Lance Carrier is okay for aggression and allowing you to trade on the board with another minion, but we need something on turn 3. Razor Fen Hunter is fine. Okay, all 3 of these are really good. The Raider, Warhorse Trainer, DID. The DID I think is going to be our option here because it's such a value-orientated card. It allows for effective trades by buffing up another minion. I love the Raider though, but no, DID I think is just the way to go. All three of these cards are amazing. We've already got one Murloc Knight, so I think Seal of Champions is the way to go here. Seal of Champions has won me so many games in Arena, historically now, since TGT came out. I think we need to pick it. Another Murloc Knight would be okay, but Seal of Champions is just insane because of the Divine Shield and the 3 attack. Okay, Murloc Knight again. So we could have had 3 Murloc Knights. That would have been great, just for the sound effects of summoning Murlocs. But Blessing of Kings, I think, is the correct pick here. Blessing of Kings is another game-swinging card, +4/+4. Yeah, it's insane. We're going to go with Blessing of Kings, I think. Okay, the Frost Elemental here I think is the only real card and real option to pick. It can freeze an enemy creature, allowing you to go face, for example, so it can win you games. You know, it's worked so well. On my last arena run, which was a Paladin Arena run, it was the MVP. Okay, here, Competitive Spirit or Demolisher. I think Demolisher is the more reliable option because Competitive Spirit, you're relying on having a board, and if you've only got a small board of minions, it's not really worthwhile. So Demolisher is really good, and it's a card that's helped me a lot in Arena in the past, especially if it can't be removed. It's doing 2 damage every turn, so it's at the start of your turn run, so it's really good. Okay, Boulderfist Ogre and the Captured Jormunga, 2 insanely good cards. 9 health on the Jormunga makes it incredibly valuable, but I actually think I'm going to go with the Ogre here because it's a 6-cost minion, just because of that cost implication. If you're on turn 6 and there's a Jormunga in your hand, you can't play it, but if there's an Ogre in your hand, you can. And I think having 2 Ogres is just really good. So I'm going to go with the Ogre over the Jormunga. Here it's an easy pick. It is the Aldor Peacekeeper every single time, I think. Cobalt Guardian is okay if you've got tremendous mech synergy, but we don't really, so we don't have many mechs. So Aldor Peacekeeper, again, another game-winning card in the Paladin's arsenal. Okay, and there we go. There's our deck. Hearth Arena gives this a tier score of 68.9. That's incredibly high. Most decks tend to average in the mid-60s. So 68.9 is really, really good. Okay, so this is the deck, and now we're going to head into the games. Notice that we've pretty much got one of every decent Paladin card. 1 Truesilver Champion, 1 Blessing of Kings, 1 Murloc Knight, 1 Seal of Champions, 1 Shielded Minibot. We're just missing Equality and Consecration, but hopefully we won't miss those cards too much. Okay, so heading into game number 1 here. Okay, so we're going up against a Druid.
I will fight with honor.
Okay. And we have the coin, so that's interesting too. So I think we get rid of all of these here. This is our mid and late game. We're going for 2 drops, particularly. We want to curve a 2 into a 3, perhaps into a 4 would be quite nice. A couple of 2 drops would be really good because we can coin 1 out. If you look at the deck, we are sort of lacking. I guess you could argue, we've got 1s and 2s, but into more 3s and 4s. So the chances are in the early game we're more likely to draw into 3s and 4s than we are into 1s and 2s, and maybe that's going to be a problem. But we've got 2 2-drops here. So if you've got 2 2-drops, I think it's an okay strategy to coin 1 out. Our problem's going to be on turn 3, so maybe I should have held off there, because what do we have to do on turn 3, apart from hero power? That could be a problem. Now, thankfully, the Druid's got nothing to do as well, well, nothing to do on his turn. So I take solace in that fact that actually here, I can probably just hero power. That's good. That's really good. Because next turn is turn 3. I can play the Direwolf Alpha and buff up the attack power of both minions on the board. That's incredible. Oh, wow. That was a mistake. I think he misclicked. I think he was meant to get the 5 health rather than the 2 health. He misclicked on the option there. And now, look at this now. I've just pushed a ridiculous amount of damage there. Okay, that's all right. But do you have another 2-drop? Yes, you do. Okay, so this would normally look bad for me. However, I've got 2 cards, and well, I've got the Dark Iron Dwarf and the Truesilver Champion, 2 cards that are potential game swingers. I've even got Blessing of Kings if I wanted to keep a minion alive after a trade. I've even got a Taunt. I had so many things there that I could do, but I think the weapon is decent. And we've got to kill the 2/3 because we can't give him another mana crystal. Okay, so there we go. We trade up, we keep the Swampoos alive. Our health total is very respectable here. Okay, Druid of the Saber. It's a value trade. Okay, and he's got a Saboteur of his own. Okay, so I can't hero power. Well, I don't particularly care because I've got stuff I can play. I can play a 4-drop and a 1-drop. I can play a 5-drop. There's a lot I can do here. Now, what you'll see me doing here is setting up that 1/1 for a Blessing of Kings. Having a Divine Shield minion with Blessing of Kings is incredibly valuable in Arena, because it's going to trade twice, maybe even 3 times with something. Okay, so Starfire there, really good for him. Clears out my taunt. It's making my Argent Squire vulnerable on the board there to something. So here, I've got to consider, do I play the Tiger? Or do I play Blessing of Kings? Do I go for the Razorfen Hunter? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for the Kings here. His only way of stopping that 5/5 from wreaking havoc every turn now is to silence it. What are the chances of a silence? We've already seen an owl get played. So I'm going to hedge my bets here. Okay, so mechs. Oh, and Living Roots. How interesting. Okay, so he's flooding the board. He's trying to contest that 5/5. I would do the same. I don't blame him. But he's running out of cards, which is also really good for me. So, do I trade with something here, or do I go face? What do I do? This is a difficult decision. He's at 16 health, but I'm equipped here in my hand to play a control game, because Aldor Peacekeeper, for instance, is great at that. I've got the Tiger. It can trade into things in addition to going face. I can prolong things here. Do you know what? I'm going to trade. And here is the value of the Dark Iron Dwarf. It's tremendous. And look, there's the value of the Aldor Peacekeeper. And look, I still get to go face with the Argent Squire. So DID, Dark Iron Dwarf, Aldor Peacekeeper, if you're drafting Arena, pick them, pick them, pick them. They're so good. And they're classic older cards. And, you know, even after GVG, Blackrock Mountain, TGT, Aldor Peacekeeper, Dark Iron Dwarf, they are still big sort of swing cards in this game. They're amazing. They really are. You see, making his Shredder become a 1-attack minion, negating that 4 attack was fantastic. It was absolutely tremendous. Of course, he's got Savage Roar here, but Savage Roar, usually you'd hope to use it as a game finisher. But he's nowhere close to finishing me off. I mean, look at my health total, and look at my hand. I've still got cards. So he's trading here as best as he can, but look, he's just tanked 5 damage to the face. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that the Argent Squire there has done an awful lot of work, a lot of good work for me. So that's fantastic. So here, I think flooding the board is the way forward. That tiger can't be targeted by a spell or even a minion. Oh, it can be targeted by bombs though, but the chances of the tiger dying are sort of slim to none. So there we go. That's it. And he concedes. So turn 8, we win. And do you know what? That was a really quick game. Really quick game. See, I'm usually used to Paladin games going on for a bit, going past turn 10. But I think one thing that we'll notice with this series of games that we're playing now is that, well, they seem to be quite short. We're not talking hunter short or super aggro short, but they're shorter games than what I'd expect, and well, that's interesting.
Uther versus Malfurion.
I must protect the one.
Another druid.
I will fight with honor.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got the young priestess here. The rest of that is our mid and late game. And as I said to you, we've got more 4-drops and 3-drops than we do 1-drops and 2-drops. So naturally, as you can see there, in the mulligan process, we drew into a Murloc Knight and a Dark Iron Dwarf. And that's to be expected because of, as I say, the number of 4-cost cards that we have. It's a problem, potentially, because if the opponent has tremendous early game, which I'm just going to get thrown out. You see, look, there's another 4-cost card. So, was my drafting process not up to scratch? No, I think it was. I think if I can survive the early game, and I ramp up into my mid game, I think I'm going to be okay. So I didn't play the young priestess there because I had a secret that I could play. The priestess dies to the druid's hero power, and I want to avoid that for now. You see, yeah, he had nothing to do. So, like the last druid we faced, he hero powers on turn 2. Okay. Now we have something to do.
Do you need a blessing?
See, this is a good play.
Reporting for duty.
I'm going to buff up that 1-2. Do you know what? I may have messed up there. Sorry, buffing up the 1-1. I may have messed up. I probably should have used the Argent Commander to buff up, to buff the 2-1, and then the 2-1 buffs the Commander and makes him a 2-3. May have messed up. But I wanted to save the Commander for a trade.
Not on my watch.
Yeah.
More training?
The battle.
I'm just lucky he didn't hero power the 2-1 down on his turn. But I think he didn't want to proc Avenge. I think that's what he was trying to play around. So maybe my play was okay. But just looking back on it now, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Either way, I'm in a good position here. I've got a weapon. I've got 2 Dark Iron Dwarves. I've got the Murloc Knight. Murloc Knight you don't want to play till turn 6 because you want the hero power to proc the effect. So that rules that out. So I've got either a DID or a Truesilver here. And I think the Truesilver is ideal.
Justice.
I want to clear the 3-5, I think. 3-5, yeah, it's annoying. Because of that 5 health, it trades in very nicely to various minions. And it's usually going to get 2 hits into something before it dies. So I want to trade in my least valuable minion.
More training?
Because what he would have done is he would have targeted the 2-3 with it probably. I don't want that to happen. So here now the 2-3 has become a 2-4. So the Argent Protector is now 2-4. That's really good. Ooh, Gurubashi Berserker. Okay, so that's contesting both minions on board there. So that's a really annoying minion for me to get round because of the 7 health. However, I have Blessing of Kings. I have a DI. I've got 2 Dark Iron Dwarves. So I can kill that Berserker if I really want to. And I think I'm going to need to. because, as I say, that Berserker can grow ridiculously out of control if I'm not careful here. So I know what's going to happen. He's going to trade into the 2/2, and he'll use the hero power. He'll kill the 2/1. So the question, though, is how do I want to do this? I've got enough attack power. So I'm going to buff up the Argent Protector there.
This is my responsibility.
And I'm going to trade
More training.
and trade again.
Move quickly.
There is an argument there to say I should have used my weapon and kept the Divine Shield on the 2/1. There is an argument to say that. What I'm contemplating actually, though, is attacking into the Harvest Golem while I can. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's all right. I just want to get rid of it. Maybe that play was questionable. Maybe I should have kept the Divine Shield on the 2/1. But then he'd attack with the Harvest Golem. Yeah, you see what he'd do is he'd... Yeah. He would have hero powered and attacked. He would have killed it anyway. Yeah. At least now, because of Avenge being procced, at least now, I can do this. And I can trade, yeah. So, with Avenge being procced, this has worked out so well for me. Technically, you could probably argue it wasn't the most efficient play, but look how it's worked out. He's now going to have to tank that 5/1. He's going to take 5 to the face. It's done its job. It's done its job. Bomb lobber there, okay. Murloc, the Murloc Knight's still alive. I think I got the best, the Murloc War Leader there. I think I got the best Murloc that got summoned. This is buffing up all Murlocs, so... Oh, wow, that's also another really good one. Yep, I think I can run away with this game now. Don't you just love the sound effects? Yep, so Murloc Power winning me this game.
I can see.
And there we go, yep, of course. And even if he had a way of clearing that board, my hand is still strong. I had enough in there. Fantastic. So that's the second game in the bag. 2 Druids so far. See, Druids have benefited a lot from the TGT expansion. I mean, you saw some of the cards there that were played early game. That's often something, class cards like that, is usually something Druid lacked pre-TGT. So Living Roots, it was something we've seen. So Druid has benefited a lot from TGT, and we're seeing that in Arena now, with those early game cards being picked in Druid. So I've got a curve here. I've got a 1, a 2, and a 3. The problem with playing the Young Priestess is that she's vulnerable to a weapon attack. Sometimes it's just good to throw her out there, and in a match against a mage, to use up a ping. You sort of think, yeah, it's sometimes worthwhile, because it means the mage isn't doing anything else on their turn. I've got nothing else to do on this turn, so I either pass or I play the Young Priestess. You see, if I play her, he'll have to use the coin to dagger up and clear her. But he's still left with 1 charge of the dagger, and I don't want to give him the value there, so I'm gonna pass. If it was a mage, I probably would have played it. I don't know. I mean, I've got the Argent Protector, you see, so on turn 3 I can play them as a combo. Okay, that 2/4, it can't attack unless the mage casts the hero power. How interesting. Huh. Okay, so here I'm not going to play the Young Priestess or the Argent Protector. I'm going to wait. I think I can afford to wait. You know, if he plays something big in the next couple of turns, I've got the Aldor Peacekeeper. No, I'm going to take it slow. I think that's okay. And I can afford to take that damage. It's fine. Okay, here we go.
Not on my
So we're going to play the combo. Young Priestess, Argent Protector, and the Priestess is buffed by the Protector and is going to buff the Protector back with the +1 health. So sort of a, an exchange of buffs there. I think they both appreciate each other a lot. Okay, so if he wants to attack with the 2/4, he has to hero power. I think the correct play here would be to attack first with the weapon, hero power, and then attack with the 2/4. Either way, that young priestess is going to get a lot of value here for me. She's going to absorb 2 hits.
Pain, speak to me.
Oh, he's not going to attack. Sorry, he's not going to attack with the 2/4. Interesting. See, I think I would have cleared the 2/4. I would have cleared my young priestess there. You don't want to leave her on the board for an extended period of time because, well, she starts buffing minions up, and you can actually, it's like Blood Imp.
my responsibility.
It can become annoying. But the young priestess is superior to the Blood Imp because of the 2 attack. The Blood Imp can't attack at all. It's stealthed, but 1 health, 0 attack. Interesting. Okay, so the Acolyte of Pain there. That's used for card draw. The Rogue is already having a bit of an advantage, I think, with cards comparative to me. I mean, I've got the more threatening board state.
Wanna blow something up?
Oh. That's really good for him, actually, in terms of card draw. He was probably hoping to kill the 2/1. It didn't work out. So he's going to have to trade or hero power down my 2/1, and he's going to trade. Okay. But there's Avenge. And my board, well, that's quite difficult to get through. I mean, it's a 5/4. What do you have in your hand that can kill the 5/4? Double backstab? No? Goblin Auto Barber played without the battle cry effect. Okay, not getting value from it. That's really good for me. Okay, so all I can do here is Aldor Peacekeeper and hero power. Now, the Peacekeeper is not wasted because it's gonna lower the attack power of one of those minions down to 1, allowing for an effective trade. Question is, how do I want to trade here? Well, I want to try and keep both minions alive. Okay, so I think the 5/4 needs to go into the 3/2, and the 4/3 into the 1/2. Yeah, there is an argument to say that I'd want the 5 attack minion kept at 2 health, in which case I would have sacrificed the DID, the Dark Iron Dwarf. But no, I think having 4 minions is fine. I'm not going to play around mind control tech here. He has to dagger up. He has to tank 5 damage to the face. So it's as if the 5 attack minion attacked anyway. So I got value from it. And there's Sap. I think that Sap must have felt very bad for him. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, right. Not getting much value from that that poison effect there. Anyway, that Sap must have felt very bad because you don't want to give your opponent a Dark Iron Dwarf back in their hand because we just replay it and use the battle cry again. You know, it's not, doesn't feel right. But I think that's probably all he thought he could do. All right, assassinate. Ha, with a taunt. Okay, fair enough. So, what have we got? Can't kill him just yet. Don't have lethal. But we've got so many choices here, so many good cards to pick from. And I think the Ogre is the ideal pick because it's just so strong at 7 health. He needs another Assassinate, another Sap. If he can't kill the Ogre in Blessing of Kings is going to kill him next turn. And look at this, we're only on turn 7 and we're at 27 health. And yeah, there we go, the concede and the well played. Okay. Tremendous action there from the Paladin. Okay, so we're heading into the next game.
Uther versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
I will
Okay,
fight with
so
honor.
in this game we're going up against a priest. Now, I've always respected priests in Arena. I don't rank them up there with mages and paladins, but a priest with the right kind of cards, the class cards I mean, so Northshire Cleric, Dark Cultist, Temple Enforcer, Holy Nova, Light Bomb, even Holy Fire. The priest with the right cards can dominate a game and just take that game.
Thank you.
So I need to be really cautious here. So we're going to play a 2-drop to contest a 2-drop that he plays.
Mind if I roll knee?
Okay, loot hoarder. You know, I did have the option to take a loot hoarder, but I did pass up on it
Shush!
in favour of the Trog, actually, the 2-3. And this is a situation where a 2-3 would have contested a 2-1. So, okay, so we get the trade.
Is paramount. Leave me alone.
Oh wow, he's got a dragon, or more than one dragon potentially in his hand. That's really interesting. Okay, we need to kill the 3/5 because this is how the priest gets out of control. It gets out of control by trading with, let's say, a 5 health minion and then healing it back up again, and that minion just sits on the board forever, or he gets a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 out of it. Okay, so thankfully we had Blessing of Kings, and now we're going to contest a Shredder with a Shredder. That's interesting. I don't think he expected me to have Blessing of Kings, and of course Lance Carrier. Wow! Oh wow! Millhouse Maelstrom. He's got it's probably the best drop out of the Shredder.
Demands retribution.
Oh wow! Look at this.
Well played.
Look at this. He's already well playing me, saying, "Oh yeah, that's it. The game's over. You're done for, Paladin. There's nothing you can do against this board." Well, if Blessing of Kings didn't work, let's try the Frost Elemental. So the Frost Ele, for those of you that follow my YouTube channel, was the MVP of my last 12-win Paladin Arena run. It was the absolute MVP. Let's see if it can be an MVP here.
Mr. Fight.
The reason for freezing the 4/4 was to protect the Shredder, in the sense that I can use the 5/5 to kill the 4/4 next turn. Just get a valuable trade there. I don't know. The 5/5 body on the board contests at least 2 of his minions, so I think it was the right decision. But I've also now drawn into Seal of Champions, and that's really good for me. That's really, really good for me, because what I can do is I can use that to get a value trade, force him to make another 2 trades into a minion. So I could Seal of Champions on the 3/2, so he'd have to hit twice into it, or absorb 2 hits. He'd have to hit twice into the Frost Elemental. So we could clear most of the board, or force him to clear most of the board in that way. But maybe just flooding the board is the way forward. So Murloc Knight,
Reporting for duty.
get a Murloc. That's not a great one. It's got 2 attack though. There we go. So just putting stuff on the board and now deciding how we want to trade. There we go. Yep. And that was the original plan. Contest Millhouse with the 5/5. Yep, so we did the trade there. So that was quite a difficult turn. Had to take a lot of time to think about it. Don't know if that was the optimal play. Maybe I could have used the Direwolf Alpha there for better trades. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone can dissect that for me and will let me know in the comments section if I could have done this better. But it's okay. I think some of my board is going to survive. There's no Holy Nova, and that makes me ever so happy here. I've sort of played into it.
Gotta be kidding me!
Right, the Venture Co. Mercenary. That's a card I refused to pick in the earlier draft Bizarrely, I have picked it in other drafts, but in this draft that we just went through, I refused to pick it purely because there was a better option to pick. 50% of the time, that card is fine. It's a 6 health minion with 7 attack. On other occasions, though, it's a terrible card because it stops you playing your own minions because they cost more, and it can lose you a game. A strategy often is to leave that card on the board, and if it can't kill itself by trading, you can win the game just by flooding your own board, and your opponent can't flood his or her own board because the Venture Co. has made the minions more expensive. So, there is a strategy here that says leave the Venture Co. alive. Yes, it's 7 attack, but I'm at 30 health. I'm not dying anytime soon. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to spread our threats here. You know, we're going to put the Direwolf in between the Squire and the Recruit. We're going to play the Young Priestess. But we're going to trade. Yeah, we're going to trade. And there's a reason we traded there. I was scared of Holy Nova. Because we've got so many 2 health minions on the board. We could have got 6 to the face and forced him to trade, but no, I was scared. So no, we're gonna kill that thing. Now, Dark Cultist is a really good card, and Azadrake is a tremendous card. Both of those are incredibly valuable cards, but I have the board here. And I've got a lot of damage. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I can do 16 damage to his face. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to trade. So, correct sequencing here. You kill the Azadrake first. I'm going to summon a guy. Yep. Summon a Recruit. And, yeah, I'm going to kill the Cultist. I wouldn't want him to, I don't know, play a Temple Enforcer or some other insane card, buff up his Cultist, and for it to kill 2 of my minions. 2 more of my minions, I should say.
More training?
So there we go. So sequencing was important there. Get the attack in first with the 6-3. And then trade in the Direwolf.
Get your funnel cakes here.
Okay, funnel cakes. So he's playing some really good cards here, like the Yeti, the 4/5, one of the best 4-drops in the entire game. Dark Cultist, Azadrake, 2 of the best cards in the arena game. But he's playing from behind here, and I have the initiative on the board, and so I'm dictating the trades.
Silence!
He has card advantage in hand, but I have board advantage. So here, what I was thinking of is, do I just go face? Do I put him down to 1? But it's a priest. And priests can heal for days. For all I know, he's holding 3 cards in his hand that are all healing. And if he does that, I don't know, it's a slim chance, but there is a chance he could come back. Right, I got rid of the 4 attack minion there, just so it doesn't contest my 6/4. Oh, he's holding another dragon in his hand. So we've already seen an Azadrake. Yeah, Twilight Guardian. Okay, so this guy is a dragon priest. He's a dragon priest in Arena. How interesting. And I've got to get through 6 health.
You have been.
Yeah. The light shall burn me. Okay, great. Yep, that was it. Smashing through that taunt wasn't going to be a problem. And then, of course, going face was going to be fine. So yeah, that's another victory. Slightly more tense game there. Slightly more difficult game because of the quality of the cards he was playing. Dark Cultist, Azadrake. Now it could have gone the other way. You know, if he'd had board initiative, I would have been demolished in that game, because I would have been playing from behind, reacting to his cards, and then he'd have control on the board and he'd be dictating the trades. We were lucky that in the early game I was in that dominant position and I kept it for the entire game. but it could just as easily have been the other way around. So Priest there showing why it is a good arena class if it can draw the right cards. So this is a rogue now. Argent Squire, pretty strong, I guess, as a 1-drop because of the shield. So is he going to hero power?
It's getting hot in here.
No, Flame Juggler misses the Argent Squire. RNG not on his side. Okay, let's put another Divine Shield on the board there. Yeah, let's do that, and let's pray that he doesn't have the Blood Knights for turn 3. Okay, so Divine Shields are really good. They slow down your opponent. They force them to hero power, force them to trade. It's just stalling things on the board for a bit longer. Okay, stopping him from playing things, allowing me to play more things.
Shall we put a kink in their plan?
There we go. So, trade, Saboteur. Saboteur was the only logical play there. Maybe not the best time to play it, but I think the most logical play. I mean, it's going to stop him from redaggering this turn, but he's probably got a minion. Yeah, he's got a minion. But we can continue here with our sequencing because we've got the Aldor Peacekeeper. Now, it's turns like this that are game-winning turns, absolute game-winning turns, because it stopped his minion from trading into my Saboteur. Okay, so it's like a free kill almost, kind of. And now with Seal of Champions in hand, I can trade into the Yeti. I can kill it off, and I can hero power. So I can keep developing my board, denying him any form of board, which is fantastic. The question is, what do I cast this on? I'm going to put it on the 6-3, on the 3-3. Again, just spreading my damage out a bit here. I think it's worthwhile having a 4 attack and a 6 attack minion just to contest something he plays. If I put it all on the Saboteur, I think it would have been a waste because it's at 2 health. As well, so backstab does kill the Saboteur. So 10, 11 attack, 11 attack on board. Enough to kill him in 3 turns if in the ideal world, but that's not going to happen. He's going to contest this somehow, maybe, hopefully for him. But look at my hand. This is where that late game, all that late game I drafted, it's coming in. The Piloted Sky Golem, the Strangleform Tiger, such good high-value cards. Hence the 68.9 tier score for this deck. Okay, Acidic Swamp Ooze is going to be really good for later. But for now, thanks to the Mechanical Yeti, and this is why there's an argument to say don't pick Mechanical Yeti in Arena if you've got a better choice. Because that's why. It allowed my Aldor Peacekeeper to survive the trade. At 1 health, but it survived. And now on curve, I play the Tiger. And we go face. This is quite amazing. 10, 15, 16, yeah. We're close to lethal. So if he hadn't given me that spare part, if he'd played a normal Yeti, he may be in a better position here. Okay. So what do I do here? Do I trade? I mean, I think playing Demolisher is a potential option, but I could just play the Sky Golem actually. It's 6 attack. It will produce something from the Death Rattle in case he has some type of board clear. But maybe the Demolisher is just better. Maybe flooding the board is just better here. To stop him from coming back. Yeah, because if he's got spells to deal with individual minions, the Sky Golem on its own wouldn't be as good. But here, I've put 3 additional minions on board, and I'm going to trade. I'm going to trade because I want to be in control. I want to be in control here. something like Tinker's Oil scares me, so I don't want to leave a minion, like in constructed games, I don't want to leave a minion on the board here.
What lurks?
Oh wow, that's such a good card for him. It only kills one minion, but it's still really good. Dark Iron Skulker, wow, I didn't even think about that. But how do you play around something like that? And the Demolisher goes to work on it, as if to say, vengeance for doing 2 damage to me. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 damage to you. Then I'm going to kill you by trading into you. Okay, so Demolisher did some really good work there. And for me, that's why Demolisher is one of the best cards in Arena. If it goes uncontested, it will usually give you some kind of value. With a minion. If there's lots of minions on board, it'll do damage to something or kill something. Okay, so the Goblin Auto Barber there, he's going to tank the Stranglethorn Tiger. Okay, so the Tiger killed a minion and has also dealt 5 damage to face. I'm really happy with that, actually. I'm really, really happy. I think some people would have issues with some of my decisions here. I've been quite defensive, trading on the board, trading on the board, trading on the board. Maybe other players would have gone face, and if you did go face, maybe earlier, maybe the rogue would be dead by now. But I was being ultra defensive, and look, I'm still being ultra defensive. I'm trading again, but I've still got the board. And he's at 8 health, and I think I prefer this style of play purely because I don't trust the rogue in the sense that if there's a minion on board, what can he do with it? And you know, cards like, as I say, Tinker's Oil, Cold Blood, cards like that can buff minions. I am wary of them. So he's going defensive now, but unfortunately, it's not really going to be enough for him. Because right on time, the Argent Protector hears that he's needed. Yep, and so he comes galloping in with his shield. And as he says, not on my watch. Yep, we're going to make the trade. Yeah, I value the 3 attack to trade there. Yep, see, I'm still trading. And I'm not going face. So this game probably would have been over a long time ago if I'd gone face. But, as I say, I'm just scared of some kind of board clear or some kind of rogue shenanigans. I don't play the rogue class, and I don't watch many rogue games either on streams. So I don't know, I'm not as well versed with the class as I am with others. So for that reason, playing it cautious. But there we go. And that's the other reason you pick Dark Iron Dwarf in a drafting process. It lets you go face too and win games, as well as trading on the board with other minions with the attack buff. So yeah, Dark Iron Dwarf, tremendously good card there, helping me to win the game. I think so far my favourite card for Paladin Arena is Murloc Knight. It's just so good. So funny as well with sound effects, but so good.
Uther versus Uther.
Okay, so we are heading into the next game.
Fight with honor. Justice demands
And look at this.
retribution.
We've drawn into all of our late game, then a bit of mid game. That's not much better either. That's terrible, actually. Oh dear.
Well met.
Okay.
Well met.
Do you know what? This could be game over for me just with this hand alone. There's the risk of picking lots of 3s and 4s in the drafting process, and having more 3s and 4s than, let's say, 2s and 1s, and just having bad luck in the mulligan.
Shields up. Red alert.
Wow. Okay, shielded mini. Best 2-drop in Arena, potentially. Just checking for Noble Sacrifice there.
Shall we put a kink in their plans?
Okay. If he's got a 3-drop to play, Saboteur does nothing there. If he's got a 3-drop. if he doesn't have a 3-drop or a 2-drop or a 1-drop, it's pretty good. But no, he's got the the ogre there, which is one of the best 3-drops in all of Arena. So he's had one of the best 2-drops, one of the best 3-drops. I've had a slow start. Oh gosh, it's Redemption. Oh my, I was thinking it was Avenge. Oh no. Okay. Maybe. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. So the Shield Master is gonna block. Yeah. Alright, that's good. That was pretty good actually. I'm happy with that trade because my Shield Master has 5 health and it's not gonna die.
Right on time.
Oh, maybe it is gonna die. Oh, wow. Okay. So, what do I do here? I could play Blessing of Kings and get a 2-for-1. But then what? What do I have on the board? Nothing. And he takes control of the game. But is that my only option? Can I just trade in the 3-2? Yeah, I think this is a better play. Let's just contest the board there with a 5-5 against a 5-5. I think that's okay. I think that's better than having nothing on the board, because I can Blessing of Kings next turn and still keep the 5-5 alive.
I'll show them all.
Alright, that's alright, Mad Scientist. Well, it's not okay, but at least it's not a 5-drop.
What does the future?
Oh, Thrallmar Farseer. You don't see that often. It's not picked often. Okay. So many choices here, so many options. It's quite difficult. Especially when you're under pressure with the rope burning. It's really difficult when you've got so many different cards or you can play and combinations of things. You know, there's... So, that trade is a value trade, because I wanted to trade in twice with the Tiger. Oh, look at that. The War Leader, again. So, in my opinion, the best Murloc to come out of the Murloc Knight. Okay, so...
Engaging TC-130.
Oh my gosh.
Dislocator.
Do you know what? I think he needed precisely that card. Precisely that card to get back into the game. Either that or a weapon. Oh look, he's got a weapon too. And he wins the joust. Unbelievable. So just like that, it swung firmly into his favour. Wow. Okay, at least the Tiger's still alive. Yeah, is he gonna tank it? Yeah, he's tanking it. And he's going to trade? Yeah. And secret. Oh, wow.
Move quickly.
Okay. Oh, Seal of Champions. All right. So, how do I contest this? I can play Seal of Champions. Trade. But the minion's just going to die so easily on the next turn. It's just with the weapon charge. And that's secret. It's probably Avenge. Well, we don't know what it is. But Silent Knight here, because of the Divine Shield, could be useful. Or do we just go with the Ogre? You see, we could go with Silent Knight, Direwolf, Hero Power, or we could just play the Ogre because it's big. And it contests both minions on the board. In fact, to kill the Ogre, he'd have to charge with the weapon and both minions. He'd have to... Yeah. I think the Ogre is... The Ogre's the best play here, I think, because of the 7 health, and that's why it's one of the best drops in the game. So I have card advantage.
Pay attention, class.
Oh. Oh, wow.
I am ready to learn.
See, every time it looks like I'm about to regain control of this game, he one-ups me with value. And now he's refilled his hand. I don't think I can compete with that. No. Wow. Unbelievable. So, kill the most threatening minion. Yeah. Oh, it's redemption. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Was expecting Avenge. That's usually the one that gets picked in Arena, I think. Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm at 17. He's close to killing me. If he ignores my board. So do you know what? I'm just going to put
I must move quickly.
a minion down. But do I put down a Silverhand Recruit or do I put down a Direwolf? No, that's fine. I want to save the Direwolf because I want to use it next turn with the Silent Knight to buff its attack power for a trade. He's still got to kill the oh. I was going to say, he's still got to kill the Ogre. Yeah. He's just accomplished that pretty much with Consecration. So yeah, this Paladin, he's outvalued me. And do you know what? I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy for him because this has been a fascinating game, a really interesting game to play. But now, because of that Consecration, because of the taunt, and you know that 1/7, whoever picks that in Arena, you know, I certainly ignore that card whenever I draft because it's only good if you're winning on your board. And it's good in situations like this. It's a bit like a Frost Elemental. It stops your opponent from channeling its minions in some other direction. The Frost Elemental freezes a minion and stops it in its tracks. That 1/7 stops me from trading with his minions or going face. So yeah, in this situation, well done to him. He's pretty much got this game. There's nothing I can do.
The victory.
And perhaps here, this is where not having a Consecration may have hurt me. But yeah, at each turn, he had the answer. Okay, so 5 wins. Not too bad. Okay, so after that loss, we're now heading into our next game.
Uther versus Thrall. For Doomhammer. I will fight with honor.
And we're going up against a Shaman. And this starting hand is pretty good. As always in Arena, you're very much dependent on that starting hand. You want that curve, and we've got a curve here. We've got a 1, a 2, and a 3. We've got the coin. So we're in a really good position. And there's another 3-drop. Okay, so the Argent Squire with the Divine Shield. That's our starting point here.
I hope you like my invention.
Okay, that's interesting. Draws a card. Alright. So we get it. There's a trade here, and I think it's important to make the trade. I was hoping to use the Direwolf to allow the Argent Squire to trade in with a 3/2 minion. That's a 3 attack, 2 health minion. But he only played the 1 health minion. So I think we're going to trade. And we're going to lose the Divine Shield on that minion. Which I think is a bit of a waste, but we've got no choice. We have to do it. I'm debating here whether to put out the Young Priestess,
Do you need a blessing?
and I think it's worth doing. Purely because it gets another body on the board, and if she doesn't get answered, she'll start buffing up the other minions. And okay, Harvest Golem. That's one of the best 3-drops in Arena because of the Death Rattle. So I need to get rid of it. Actually, I want a clear board. That's so important here. So I'm happy to throw the Trog in, and I'm happy to sacrifice the Argent Squire. The Argent Squire killed 2 minions, so it was almost a 2-for-1, kind of. I'm happy with that. And by maintaining 3 minions on board there, we're playing around MC tech, which is really important, I think. Well, you can't always play around it, but when you can play around it, it's always a good thing. So killing off the Harvest Golem was certainly a good choice there, because it left us with 3 minions. So this taunt, it's got 5 health.
More training.
I think we just trade off here. So double attack. And there we go. We've drawn a card, and we're left with 3 minions. Again, playing around MC Tech. The Young Priestess, though, did a really good job in that game so far. She buffed up. She's buffed up a couple of minions, so she's done okay. She's done her job. For a 1-drop, this proves how effective she can be if she's not removed. Because the Trog's at 2 health still. Interesting. Okay, so Crackle on the Cult Master respects the Cult Master because of its ability to draw cards. Now, I need to kill his Direwolf. I think the best trade is between my Direwolf and his Direwolf. I think that's the only way forward. I could use Blessing of Kings here on my Direwolf, but a spell, you know, I don't know. Spell, another Crackle would hurt me. Hex could be an issue. No. So what I value here is putting a stealthed tiger on the board. I think that's really powerful because it can't be targeted, and he's only got 5 mana to play with because of the overload effect on this particular turn. Wow. Okay. Okay, so he's got rid of the Trog. And left me with a stealth tiger. Alright. So he's doing his absolute best here to clear what he can on my board, and I think it's my job to
Shall we put a kink in their plan?
to keep putting things down as best as I can. It's a really good thing I didn't play a Blessing of Kings last turn on the on my Direwolf, because if he'd have used Earthshock there to silence and kill it, I'd have been very sad. So we've seen Earthshock now, he's used it, hopefully he doesn't have another one, so it now makes Blessing of Kings all the more sort of potent here. So Blessing of Kings is an option, or I've got lots of options. I can play Silent Knight, Shielded Minibot. Instead, I'm going to freeze his Yeti, and I'm going to go face. And the reason I'm doing that is because I've got lethal next turn if he's not able to answer the minions on my board. Alright, and that's it. He didn't have an answer to the 5 attack minions, and there we go. Nice, quick, easy game, and that's 6 wins in the bag. Okay, so we're heading on to our next game here. So, as I've discussed in previous videos, the higher up we go with our winning, the harder the games are going to get. As you're facing opponents who have a similar score to you.
Fight with honor. Justice demands retribution.
I think that's how it's meant to work anyway. So this is a paladin now, and okay, if we're battling over 7 wins here, you can expect this paladin to be pretty good in terms of card quality.
Do you need a blessing?
Okay, so turn 1, just going to play the Young Priestess. I was tempted to pass there, actually, and just play the Gilbert Stalker
Well met.
on turn 2. But I want to get something out on the board. I want to get the Young Priestess out. I want to take a risk, a gamble, and just hope that he hasn't got an answer to it. You can see he was hovering over it, so he's probably looking at it and thinking, well, what can I play? He has the coin, and he didn't coin anything out. So
More training?
that's telling me something. It either means he has a 3 attack 2 health minion that he didn't want to sacrifice to the Young Priestess, or he had nothing else that he could play. Or he was saving for muster here. He was saving what he had in hand and thinking, no, I'll coin out muster for battle, I'll use the weapon, I'll kill the priestess. So his board is actually pretty menacing. Those 1 attack minions are going to be annoying. If I play the Direwolf here, obviously it's a body. I'm treating the Direwolf simply as a body to absorb 2 hits. Some people would argue that's a terrible use of the Direwolf because it has utility. It buffs up the attack power of minions. Why would you just play it as a body that's going to die? Well, my only other option was the hero power, and I think that's weaker. You see here, I absorbed a weapon hit and an attack from one of his Silverhand recruits. But the Ogre Brute is really good. But thankfully, I've got my Shield Master there to contest it. So the Ogre Brute's going to attack. Now, as we know, ogres are stupid. So according to the RNG, it's likely, it's 50% chance, he's going to miss the intended target. No, he didn't miss the intended target. That's interesting. Interesting.
Put this apple on your head.
Oh wow, Knife Juggler. Okay, so he's going to go with... he's going to try and summon a minion here. Go for a Juggle, perhaps. A Knife to the 3-1. Does he want to avoid tanking 3 damage to the face with his weapon? Do you know, I would have, if I was him, I'd have saved Muster for Battle for a Juggler combo on turn 5. I think that's so powerful. But no, using the weapon did help answer the Young Priestess. It's pretty decent, I guess, earlier. Okay, so... I don't really have much to do here. I'm certainly not playing the Murloc Knight until turn 6 or later, because you want to get the hero power off with it. The priority there is to clear the Juggler. The Juggler's just very, very menacing. What if he's got another Muster for Battle? So the Ogre Brute here, it's 4-1. Now, he's going to clear the 1-1, naturally, but it's going to proc Avenge. Okay, so now he's going to trade? No, Blessing of Kings. Oh, but look, it buffs up my Trog. Okay, so he just used Blessing of Kings there to kill my Trog. That's really interesting. Some would argue a waste of the card. Not sure if that was the right play for him.
Reporting for duty.
That's not bad. So, it's an empty board. Yep, we play the Murloc Knight. He needs a Truesilver Champion to answer that card. So, if he can't answer it...
Well met.
No, he can't answer it. As I was saying, if he can't answer it, this game could get out of hand very, very quickly for him, and that benefits me. Okay, there's a secret there. Probably Avenge. if I had to guess. It usually always is, although in a previous game that we played, Redemption I think was a secret we saw. Okay, how do I want to do the trades here then? Whatever happens, I want my Murloc Knight to survive. That's the key thing. Because look at the value it's giving me. I've got a charge Murloc. So I'm just thinking about the trades here. Okay, so trade in there. I need to kill the 1/1s. It's not Avenge. That's really interesting.
To battle!
So what is the secret?
Must move quickly.
Is it competitive spirit? It's not Avenge. It's not noble sacrifice. Oh. Okay, so I just wanted to draw cards as well there. So I've got 4 cards in hand. That's really good. They're generally all high quality cards as well.
Speak to me.
Acolyte of Pain is a really slow play from him, really slow. But there's a weapon, Argent Lance. Okay, at least he doesn't win the joust. That's something, I guess. Okay, but he kills the... you see, it's really interesting there. He killed the Murloc Knight, not the Cult Master, so he let me draw a card. It shows you just how much respect the Murloc Knight has as a card. It's an incredibly strong card. Now I've got, I think, board advantage to an extent, and I've got card advantage. I've got serious card advantage here. So here I don't really think I can go wrong. Well, I'm going to clear his board.
For justice!
I thought about sacrificing the 2/3, drawing a card, but no, there's no need. Here I can get rid of his weapon. Go face.
Not on my watch.
And I value my Cult Master. It's my card draw mechanic. So I'm going to protect it with a Divine Shield. So it means if he casts Consecration, I'm going to draw lots of cards. So it's almost stopping Consecration from being cast, almost. It's a good move, I think. Yep, and that's it. He sees the writing on the wall. That's another win. Okay, so that's 7 wins, and now we're heading into our next game.
Uther versus Jaina.
So we're going up against a mage.
I will fight with honor.
Wow, this young priestess, she really wants to be involved in the game here, showing up in the opening hand quite a bit. So I kept the Demolisher there because I do like it, I do value it, I think it's brilliant. It's a 3-drop, I was hoping to get a 2-drop, but no luck. There's another 3-drop, so I'm in a bit of trouble here. The benefit is that I've got the coin. I can use the coin to bring something decent out.
I'm sorry.
So I played the young priestess there, knowing he'd ping, and the benefit is he didn't play anything on his turn. That's why you make that kind of play. And now I can just keep developing my board and hopefully contest his board. Now this is where the coin comes in handy. You see, the Raging Worgen is so powerful for the mage because he can ping it and get Wind Fury from it. I stopped that, and it was worth sacrificing the Gilbin Stalker. So with this opponent, I think I seem to be engaged in a I'm sorry, you're welcome, thank you battle of emotes here. It's quite interesting. So, Piloted Shredder on board, a 4/4 Dark Iron Dwarf, really powerful. So he's going to trade, and that's fine, because I get the Death Rattle effect. That's not too bad, you know. Oh, polymorph boar. Yeah, I've got to give him a well played for that. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Don't mess with us.
Time for a change.
Reporting for duty.
right, let's fill the board up here. Sure, why not? We've got a Dark Iron Dwarf in hand. We've got the Seal of Champions. We can contest anything he puts down at this turn. At this time. Okay. Cone of Cold. That sort of stopped me in my tracks there. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. We're back into it. Boulder Fist Ogre. Frost Elemental. That's my MVP card. That's the card I love so much. Alright, he's used it to contest the ogre there, or to, well, not to contest it, because it can't kill the ogre, but to freeze the ogre. Okay. And once again, that's the power of the Dark Iron Dwarf. Such an amazing card. It's allowed for an efficient trade with a minion, with one of my minions that was already damaged, taking out his full health minion. That's so good.
I am undefeated.
Right, Master Jouster. Oh, he wins the joust.
Well
So I'm gonna well played him here. I'm gonna say well played. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. You see, a 5/6 taunt with Divine Shield looks threatening. However, I've got 2 ogres.
Suck steel, swab.
Counter that.
Thank you.
Right, what do you have? Oh, you have Flame Strike. You misplayed there.
If I roll knee.
No? He should have pinged the shielded Minibot first. And then Flame Strike. But no, he wanted to play his loot order. That's interesting. Interesting. He values drawing a card over removing the Minibot. Well, we get the trade anyway, because I need to protect the ogre. And the tiger is really good, because even if he's got a second flame strike here, that 5/5 tiger survives. So playing minions that survive flame strike, that's the key to beating the mage. I'm not sure what he can do here. Okay, so the Trog. And then what?
My shield for
Ah, taunt.
Well played.
This guy, he loves his emotes. Okay, fine. So, Seal of Champions here. We're just gonna knock through the Trog, and we've got lethal. Yes, well played. Okay, 8 wins. So, this is interesting now. Stakes are getting higher. Right, so heading into the next game. And we're going up against
Uther versus Jaina.
another mage.
You asked for it.
I will fight with honor.
Do you know, this is telling me something. There's a very clear pattern here as we're progressing up this arena ladder, so to speak. It's just getting, well, it's getting interesting in that we're seeing a lot of mages. See, so far it's been Druid, Druid, Rogue, Priest, Rogue, Paladin, Shaman, Paladin, Mage, and now another Mage. So, I think that's saying something about the quality of Mage post TGT. It's saying that Mage is still potentially one of the best, if not the best class in Arena, even though, in my opinion, it is Paladin that still retains that crown of being the best. And I've always thought Paladin is the best class in Arena, even though I think most people would argue, and I think the stats indicate it historically has been Mage. Well, maybe it says something about my playstyle then that, you know, I prefer Paladins. I don't know. So here, I want to protect my Demolisher. I think it's just too valuable. But, so I was thinking of the Aldor Peacekeeper. Yeah, I think that's an okay play. He needs a spell to kill the Demolisher now. Or something else. Yeah, I value keeping it in play. Yeah, look, there's the Frostbolt. He respects the Demolisher. He understands that an uncontested Demolisher doing 2 damage every turn, or whenever my turns start, that's really powerful. So I don't blame him there for using the Frostbolt. Some people may see it as a bit of a waste, because the Demolisher is just a 1-attack minion, so you think, well, why waste a spell on a 1-attack minion? But the fact is, over a number of turns on a full board, a Demolisher can go to work. It really can, and it can remove low health minions just like that in one go. And when I say a full board, I mean if I have a full board and my Demolisher is just sitting there eating away at any minion he plays. As you can see, I've just filled my board up here. So Demolisher sitting on a full board that you control is like a win more kind of card. So yeah, he made the right decision, but that hasn't stopped me by using that Frostbolt on the Demolisher. There are other targets on my board now that would have benefited from the Frostbolt. So Dark Iron Dwarf would have benefited from, you know, having a Frostbolt used on it. So that's one less Frostbolt that he can use. Oh wow, that has to be the unluckiest flame cannon ever. Okay, funnel cakes. That's not gonna help you. You see, I could use a Dark Iron Dwarf again to buff a minion up to trade in with the 3/5, but I don't need to. And do you know what? If you don't need to, don't do it. Because there will come a situation in this game when I need to use that Dark Iron Dwarf, the second one in my hand. So, okay, so obviously respecting the Sky Golem there, that's fine. So I'm just going to fill the board. I understand that this could be a Flame Strike turn, but the Paladin Shredder survives the Flame Strike. The Silent Knight sitting there silently, he survives too. The Shredder survives because of the Death Rattle. Wow, that was really good for him, that Bomb Lobber.
X marks the spot.
Okay, interesting. Still not too bad for me, because now the Dark Iron Dwarf is useful, because my 2-attack Silent Knight can trade in quite easily, actually, to one of those minions with the Dark Iron Dwarf. The question is, which one do I want to kill?
Let me think.
I think killing the Bomb Lobber with the Silent Knight and Dark Iron Dwarf is the way forward here, and then I can trade the Shredder into the 2/3. I think clearing his board is a priority, because if there is a Flame Strike, I lose my board for the most part, but he can then still trade into any minions that are left. Yeah, I don't want him to have anything left on his board, because, as I say, it could be damaging if he removes my board with a Flame Strike, but he still has stuff left over. Pit Fighter, 6 health. It's fine, I can deal with it. If that's his only play, it's a very slow play. Oh, Bud Mage Thalmos. Interesting. Oh, look, Argent Protector. So now I can make some efficient trades here. I can kill the 6 health minion, and I can have something survive on my board. The conventional play would be to shield up on the Stranglethorn Tiger, the 5/5, and trade into the 5/6, and then use the 2/2, or to use Blood Mage Thalmos. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sacrifice a couple of my minions here. I'm going to sacrifice the... yes, the Dark Iron Dwarf, and sacrifice the 2/2. There's a reason I've done that, and again, it's a play that's slightly controversial. It's because if there's a Flame Strike, he can't ping my Tiger and then Flame Strike and clear my board. So that play is essentially saying your Flame Strike does nothing. No, it clears most of my board, but the Tiger still survives, even after the ping. Okay, that was all for nothing then. He had a polymorph. But you never know, he may have been sitting on a Flame Strike, but felt because of the Tiger having the shield, he couldn't use it. So it's still a heads-up play, it's still a good play, I think, the one I made. Yeah. Okay, do I have lethal? 5, yes I do. Okay. Let's put him down to 1, make him think he's still alive, play the ooze, and now finish him off. Yeah, that's a well played. Okay, so that's the mage down. 9 wins. Okay, going into the next game, what are we going to face? My money is on another mage.
Uther versus Jaina.
Oh yes, look. It's another mage.
I will fight with honor.
Okay, so that's a poor opening hand, but we're going to keep the Aldor Peacekeeper. Okay, that's a 2 into a 3 into a 4. That's not too bad. That's okay. Oh look, he just got even better. That's really good now. So 1 into a 2, into a 3, into a 4. Really nice curve there, I think. Particularly given that the first 2 minions here, so the Argent Squire, the shielded Minibot, both of those are Divine Shield minions, and that's really significant here, because essentially it's saying, as a mage, well, you've got to ping this turn surely to remove one of the shields, but if you do that, I've got 2 minions still left on board. That's still pretty powerful. It's pretty significant. Usually you see in games, you play shielded Minibot on your turn 2, he pings on his turn 2 to remove the shield. In this particular instance, yeah, he can ping and remove a shield, but I've still got another minion left on the board, in addition to the Minibots. So it's a really awkward position for the mage here. And it's these kind of these early sort of plays where you get these cards in your hand and you play them. They're game-winning plays. And it's luck. It really is luck on my part there, having drawn into a Argent Squire, then a shielded Minibot. He counters that with a Divine Shield minion. That's interesting. So he elected not to ping.
Reporting for duty.
Not to ping to remove a shield, instead to play his own Divine Shield minion. Okay, but now I've flooded the board. And this is the power of having a 1-cost Young Priestess, who he respects there by pinging. Yeah, he sees the value that it's going to get me. And plays a Zombie Chow. Okay, that's pretty good for him actually. The Zombie Chow has 3 health. It actually contests everything on my board. So good on him, playing that. But look, Dark Iron Dwarf to the rescue here, potentially. All this Blessing of Kings, all this Seal of Champions. I've got so many options. I'm considering Blessing of Kings on the Argent Squire. That's a really good play. Very hard for him to remove. But no, I'm going to save the Blessing. And I'm just going to make use of the one attack minion there. Buff it up, let it trade. Because let's face it, you know, the Silverhand Recruit, when is it ever really going to get value? The Dark Iron Dwarf there does give it value. Okay, so Blessing of Kings is fine. There's the value I was talking about. You know, it's Divine Shield minion. Save the Blessing of Kings until you can make an efficient trade. Okay, an efficient trade. Then use Blessing of Kings, then make the trade and be left with a very strong minion. And there we go, that was a great trade. I almost cast Whirling Blades there, and I actually thought that was the +1 health spare part, just to try and put the Argent Squire out of fireball range. But no, it's actually the +1 attack spare part, and I nearly made a terrible misplay there.
For the Lich King!
Okay, so for the Lich King, not quite, because I can remove that minion ever so easily. See, I'm pondering: do I use the spare part here, or do I save the spare part? Yeah, I'm going to use it. There's no reason to save it.
Reporting for duty.
There's also an argument that says I shouldn't have used the Aldor Peacekeeper. I should have just made the trade with the Argent Squire. But I value the health on the Argent Squire. Oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have used the P. If he was going to cast Polymorph, well, no, maybe he wouldn't have cast Polymorph if the Argent Squire was more damaged there. So maybe using the Peacekeeper was the right move. The Argent Squire's got tremendous value in this game so far, I think, and it's just eaten up a Polymorph. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. So next turn is turn 7. It's Flame Strike turn. So I want to protect my Dark Iron Dwarf. It's only at 4 health, which means it does die to Flame Strike. So that's why I cast Seal of Champions. There's the Flame Strike. So it's a really, see that play, it was so good. By protecting it there, I gave myself the opportunity to have lethal. And because it survives the Flame Strike. So that was really good. That was really, really good. These Paladin cards, Seal of Champions, Blessing of Kings, they're so very, very good.
Uther versus Rexar.
Okay, so
Let's go.
heading into the next one here.
With honor.
Okay, so it's a hunter. A bit surprised to see a hunter at this stage of the game. You know, we're usually see, I think hunters struggle in Arena.
Well met.
I think they really need the right combination of cards, but in general they tend to be an aggressive class. So they really benefit from bursting down their opponent as quickly as possible and then using that hero power to finish them off over a number of turns. And for me, it's rare to see hunters at this stage of the arena. Oh wow, King's Elk. Oh, good. I win the joust. Wow, that's interesting. But I've got the Direwolf. So the Direwolf there, incredibly useful, comboing with the Argent Squire. So let's see what this hunter's got. To get this far, he must be really, really good. We're fighting over 11 wins here, so he must be really, really good. He must have some amazing cards in his deck to have got this far. And if it's an aggressive hunter, then I could be in trouble. That secret. You see, on instinct, I'm thinking
Put a kink in their plans.
it's explosive trap. Otherwise, why would he play it? It's either explosive or bear trap. He wouldn't play a freezing trap on this board, surely. So no, so I refrain from attacking out of fear of explosive trap. It does depend now. I mean, I've blocked out the hero pad, but I don't think that matters. Interesting. Boar? Slavezuka? Oh wow, okay, so he's gonna clear some stuff. That's interesting. Oh. So it's not explosive trap then.
Sneak
Oh,
attack.
it's bear trap. Okay. So now he wants the bear to contest my 4-3. Okay, that's pretty smart. And it's a valuable trade on his part there. You know, for the next turn. But I'm going to get rid of his weapon. And I'm going to play the Peacekeeper. You see, now that bear is useless. It does nothing. It can't kill any one of those 3 minions. So to me, that's a game swing turn right there. The Aldor Peacekeeper. Okay, the King of Beasts. That's really good for him actually, because the 3 attack, it contests all 3 of my minions. Oh, Hunter's Mark. Wow. Okay, I was feeling really confident up to that point, and then of course he plays the Hunter's Mark, and now I'm a bit sad, but you know, the King of Beasts, as I say, contests both of my minions there. I could trade both of them in, but I don't see the point in doing that, so I'm going to pass. I'm happy for him to attack into my 3-5, and then for me to attack back with my 3-5 and to clear the King of Beasts there. I'm happy to do that, but I want to preserve my other 2 minions if I can. That's the whole point of using a taunt. You use it to protect your face, and you use it to protect your other minions on the board. I've got 2 interesting utility cards in this in that hand. I've got the Dark Iron Dwarf, I've got the Frost Elemental. Both of those could do some really good work, depending on what else he starts to play. Particularly if he plays something with 5 health, Dark Iron Dwarf on either 3 attack minion there, the Swampus, or the Aldor Peacekeeper could be really, really good. So that will contest anything with 5 health. Okay, as a Drake. So he's drawing a card. Will he trade? No, he doesn't trade. I think he sees through me here. So I need to make the trades now, unfortunately. And there's no easy way of getting through the 3-6. I think I need to get through it. I can't just pass and do nothing on this turn. I need to get through that, so yeah, there's no easy way of doing it. Just gonna trade. He gets a double trade there. That's really good for him. The question is, what do I want to do about the Azure Drake? Yeah, Dark Iron Dwarf seems okay. And I'm not going to play the secret. I'm gonna summon a recruit. I think having a minion on board is perhaps more valuable here. Okay, so Piloted Shredder. That's fine. I'm still at 30 health. And we're heading into my turn 7. Wow. And I'm facing a hunter. That's interesting. You see, right about now, you'd expect to be down to about 15 health with aggressive hunters. Quick shot. That's good for him. So now I'm forced to make a trade with my Dark Iron Dwarf. Or am I? You see, I could play the Frost Elemental, but now's not the time. Because I don't have lethal. You usually play the Frost Ellie to block his minion when you have lethal, so to stop his minion from attacking, so on the following turn you can attack and have lethal. And I didn't attack the Shredder because I don't want to give him Wind Fury. What that means is I attack his Shredder, a minion spawns, he can then play that minion or use that minion on his turn. Now, if he attacks with his Shredder and a minion spawns from it, he can't use that minion on his turn. So that's what we mean when we say Wind Fury. Oh, Emperor Cobra. Fascinating. That's bad for me, actually. Oh, gosh. That's even worse for me. Unbelievable. And Avenge does very little here. Alright, there's the hero power. Because that Cobra... Oh dear, so that's going to kill. That's going to kill one of my minions. Now here's the question. I can't leave either Taunt up on the board here, really, realistically. Particularly the Cobra. I've got to kill the Cobra, but the question is, which minion do I use? I'm going to use the 7/6 to kill the Cobra. That's not too bad for me, but him drawing a card is not a good thing. I'm going to use a 7/6, mainly because I value the 7 health on the Ogre there. Any extra bit of health is certainly valuable. Now I am going to use the Frost Elemental. And you know what? I'm going to freeze the 2/1. Most people would freeze the 2/3. Now I'm going to freeze the 2/1 minion, mainly because I don't want him to draw a card. I want to stall that for as long as possible. Because we've both got 2 cards in our hands, and we're both running out of cards, and I want to delay his card draw for as long as I can. So that's the reasoning.
What you want?
So yeah, this hunter's playing some aggressive cards. Oh, interesting. Alright, so quite a threatening board state there. The Raider at 6/6. That's quite dangerous. I need to get rid of it quickly because the other 2 minions are not very threatening, but the Raider is. So I'm pondering Blessing of Kings here. But if I Blessing of Kings, I can't play the Golem, the Sky Golems. It's not turn 10. I don't have 10 mana. The problem is if I don't get rid of the 6/6, he'll keep hero powering. And it'll get out of control. So I'm not going to Blessing of Kings here. What I am going to do is Sky Golem and Demolisher. That's the better play. Why? Because I'm keeping my Blessing of Kings a secret. He doesn't know I've got it. And I don't want it to lose that surprise effect. The Sky Golem and the Demolisher are both very threatening, and he can't kill either one with his 2 minions. They've got a combined total of 3 attack, so the Sky Golem survives, the Demolisher also survives, and that's crucial. And I'm hoping now if the Demolisher survives, it'll start throwing whatever it throws. Are they bombs, barrels? I don't know. I'm hoping it'll start demolishing his low health minions. So he plays a secret. He wanted his card draw. Oh wow, Reckless Rocketeer. So this is a very aggressive hunter. I can see how this hunter has got so many wins. But that card, the 5/6, okay, I was slightly disappointed there. It didn't kill the 1/2. But the 5/6 there, incredibly powerful, 6 health, is going to contest that bear ever so easily. Yeah. Sky Golem proving why it's such a good card here. And now I am going to Bessinger Kings. I'm revealing all of my strength here. Divine Shield on the 8/3, Blessing Kings on the Demolisher. Yep. Beat that board. So 14 attack on my board. There's the high main, okay. But I don't think it's enough. Yeah, he wants to get rid of the shield. He's going to hero power, but you see, in any other Hunter game, on this turn, I would probably be down to 5, 6, 7, 8 health, something low. And this is how they finish you off, you know. But I'm at 21 health. He has to clear pretty much my entire board. And I have a stealthed minion that he can't even target. So, yeah, I think this is the game. Even Unleash the Hounds does nothing here. So, Demolisher, MVP. Although we got silenced at the end there. There we go. That's it. Fantastic. 11 wins. Okay, so we're heading into our next game. We have 11 wins with this deck, so this game is for the 12th win, potentially. And we're going up against a Mage. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to keep the Demolisher, I think, and I'm going to keep the Young Priestess. You see, with games like this, there's a lot of pressure. And I'm going to keep the Dark Iron Dwarf because I was hoping for a 2-drop there, so I was hoping for a 1 into a 2, into a 3, into a 4. And wow, this Mage, he plays the Zombie Chow, so the best 1-drop in Arena, I think, is Zombie Chow because, look, it contests anything I can play. The Young Priestess just dies. Coin hero power dies. But you know what? I'm going to play it because I'm really scared here. I'm just scared of him throwing me out of the game by playing a 2-drop. There I force him to ping. Therefore, that's a minion he can't play. That's good for me. Here, I think Silent Knight or Demolisher are both okay plays. I think they're hard for him to kill. Demolisher's hard for him to kill. Silent Knight, Divine Shield, it's okay. And I've got the Dark Iron Dwarf for turn 4. I suppose Demolisher is the safer bet here. Demolisher's got 4 health. And if he can't kill it, it's gonna do 2 damage to something on the next turn. That's still value, you know. Even if he's able to kill it on his subsequent turn. Okay, go on Demolisher. Yeah, see, that's brilliant. That's really good. That's what I was hoping for, because now at least I can kill the Zombie Chow. So I could do the Silent Knight, or I could put a shield around my Demolisher. He's played the Harvest Golem, which, as I said before, one of the best 3-drops in Arena, because of the Death Rattle, because of the 3 health. In the early game, it helps to contest so much, as you can see here. I've got some really tough choices that I need to be making here. It's not easy. It's really not easy. So there, use the Divine Shield. Keep the Demolisher at 4 health. He's going to make the trade. Wow, and there's the best 4-drop in Arena. So he had, wow, so he's had the best 1-drop, Zombie Shao, the best 3-drop, or one of the best 3-drops, Harvest Golem, and probably the best 4-drop, the Yeti, the 4/5 minion. Wow. So, yeah, I can see why this mage has come as far as he's come. But I've got... my hand's not great. Silent Knight
The Frost Wolves stand ready.
is not going to contest the Frostwolf Warlord there, or whatever that card's called. However, Pit Fighter does contest it, but with a ping. Yeah, he can trade and ping to knock down the Pit Fighter. I think Pit Fighter's the way to go. And I'm going to go face here. I'm not going to kill the Harvest Golem because of the Death Rattle. It spawns the 2/1. I know. He then just has an effective way to kill my 4/4. So now I'm just going to hope he trades into the 5/6 and pings it down. I have a feeling though, yeah, I should have seen this coming. He's going to attack into the 4/4, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's going to make me trade my 5/6 into his Frostwolf there. No. That's awkward. Oh, look, Polymorph. Oh, wow. What is it with mages and Polymorph today in this run? It's been, in a number of games, it's just been Polymorph after Polymorph. You know. This is a really rough turn. I was just speaking to a friend there in chat, as you can see. He helps me out a lot sometimes, and in this situation, I don't know what to do. There aren't any good plays, really. No. See, double Silent Knight in any other circumstance would be pretty good, but I'm going to tank 7 damage to the face here, unfortunately. The benefit is the Silent Knights, because of the Divine Shields and Stealth, well, they're immune to Flame Strike, so he can't Flame Strike, but he's just played an Ogre, and that's really bad for me, because now look at the damage on board. 11, 12, 13, plus the ping, 40. He's got 14 damage. Oh dear. Okay, so I can use the Silent Knights here. I'll use one of them to clear the Frostwolf. That's really valuable, and it's still alive. There's some thought being given now to, do I trade into the Harvest Golem, or do I just go face? I think going face is the smart play, because again, it'll just spawn a 2/1 that's going to trade into one of my minions again. I don't want that. I don't want to give him the benefit of that, so I'm going to go face, I think. As my friend pointed out there, the Murloc Knight has just been drawn, and that's really good. If I can somehow survive into this game, the Murloc Knight, as we've seen before, is a game-winning card.
I've got the beast in my sight.
Oh wow, he had the abusive big game combo. How does that work? I know how it works, but to have that in your hand, what are the chances? Such an effective combo. Such an effective combo, and now, on that basis, I don't think I can come back from this. 17 health. I can't even clear the 3/5. That's how sad this is. Because not only did he have the abusive big game combo, he had a taunt to go with it. Unbelievable. So I can't win here. You see, that's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. But it does nothing because there's 14 damage. He could go face here, and I wouldn't be able to tackle his board. But he's going to trade. You know, credit to him. credit to him for trading. But still, see, even after trading, he's playing one high quality card after another. Kind of like my deck in some ways. I mean, I've got a lot of high quality cards, but you know, that 9 health minion there, that's so so difficult to remove.
Reporting for duty. Silence!
Okay.
Well played.
Just thought I'd play the Murloc Knight for fun. Okay, so 11-2. Okay, so this is interesting. You know, lost the game, went up against a mage, and bizarrely, you know, the quality of that deck is better than anything I've faced up till now in this run. All of a sudden, you know, the quality just ramps up suddenly, and you're not used to that.
Uther versus Jaina.
So we're going up against another
You asked
mage.
I will fight with honor.
So far, we've faced 5 mages. This is mage number 5, and they've all sort of been concentrated in these last few games. It's really interesting. This hand isn't too bad.
Well met.
There is some semblance of a curve there. Well, there isn't really. I've got nothing to do on turn 1. Actually, now I do. This is actually really good. Because I can coin out a minion. The question is, which one do I coin? I'm going to go with the Goblin Stalker here. Just in case he's got a Frostbolt. I wouldn't want the Trog to die. So, we'll put the Stalker down and pray he hasn't got a Flame Cannon.
What to do?
For a little while, I've had a big punch.
Okay, that's not too bad. If that's the best he's got for turn 2, it doesn't contest the Stalker. That's really good. So now I've got board control, and he has to ping my 2-1. And if he pings the 2-1, it's a very slow turn for him. Oh no, he's actually got the Imp Master. That's pretty good for him. That's really good, in fact. So now I'm sort of, you know, as I was playing this game, you know, I think I was just getting quite nervous here because there was a lot on the line. You know, 12 wins was on the line, and you sort of second guess every play. And
Shall we put a kink in their plans?
I want to block the hero power because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to trade into the Imp Master. My initial thought was just to kill the Imp, the 1-1, but no, the Imp Master's way too threatening. So let's kill the Imp Master there and block off the hero power so he can't kill the Trog. I think that's a reasonably smart play. Okay, so he couldn't ping it, so he's going to play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. And now he wants the Ghoul to contest my 4-3. That's a good play from him. But look, Dark Iron Dwarf to the rescue here. You know, Dark Iron Dwarf is very much, I think, the MVP of this arena run so far. The number of times it's given me trade value has been incredible. And look, and there's the other MVP, Murloc Knight. So here, this would usually be quite bad for me, but
Sneak attack.
there's the third MVP of the game, Aldor Peacekeeper. So now I've got a threatening board.
I've got a huge gun.
Alright, Stormpipe Commando. And Zombie Chow. Wow, he packed a lot into that turn. That's really good for him. So now I've got to kill the ooze. The question is, which minion do I use? Yeah, I want to kill the 4/2. I could kill the zombie chow, but then no, the 3/3 just becomes a ping target. That's not worthwhile. So we've got to decide now. What do we play? I could play the Frost Ellie to protect my 4/2 because I know he's just going to trade the zombie chow into it. But is the Frost Elemental worthwhile here, or do I just want to flood the board with stuff? Murloc Knight seems reasonable too. The zombie chow, I don't care about the 4/2, I really don't. When I say I don't care, yeah, I do care, but I think... Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead with this because it's a flame strike turn. I don't want to waste the Frost Elemental on a zombie chow. Murloc Knight dies to flame strike. Sky Golem dies but spawns another minion, but still it's weak in that regard. I was hoping that by playing that board I would draw out a flame strike, but I didn't, so he probably doesn't have it. Now, the 5/9 is devastating for me because of the 9 health. So I need to think about how to deal with it. This is a good start because I put a 5/5 on the board and I stop the 5/9 from attacking. So next turn I can use the 5/5 and the Truesilver Champion and I can clear it.
Someday I'll be just like
But it depends on what he's going to do now. Ah, he's drawing cards. That's a slow turn, and so it's really good for me. Well, it's not good for me because he's drawing cards, but it's good for me because he hasn't played anything else significant. So now I just need to think about trading. How am I going to do these trades? This is the question. All 3 of those minions are relatively annoying in their own way. So the decision I've made is to clear the 2 least annoying minions and keep the most annoying minion alive. Well, sure, why not? Let him trade the 5/9 into my 5/2 if he really wants. That's a value trade because the Frost Elemental has already killed something. So yeah, sure. Or yeah, sure. Trade into my Pit Fighter and ping it. You see, that'd also be fine. I wouldn't have as much of a problem with that. But I'm giving him choices of things to do here, and I'm making the choices quite difficult.
Get in there and fight, maggot. I've got the
Oh,
beast in my stomach.
again, that combo. What is it with that combo? 2 games in a row, someone's had the BGH Abusive Sergeant combo. Unbelievable. And look, there's the Frostwolf Warlord again. I don't get it. Wow. Anyway, this is the kind of moment where you start to panic and where you think, oh gosh, 12 wins on the line here, and it can cloud your judgment. It's actually a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure because getting 12 wins is such a big deal.
Time runs out on me.
Also considering I only achieved 12 wins a few days ago on the Paladin as well, it's a big deal to me. So the pressure sometimes can cause you to make poor plays. So I've got to trade somehow, and this is such a difficult board to decipher.
Let me think.
The 5/9 and the 7/7 are massively threatening, but then even the 4/2 with 4 attack is really annoying. So I think I've got to prioritize on what I clear here on the board. The 7/7 I think has to go. Even though the 5/9 is annoying because of the 9 health, the 7/7 has 7 attack, and yeah, I'm at 25 health, but I need to be conscious of how much damage these minions can do. So do you know what? I'm gonna kill the 7/7. Yeah, sure. Why not? And kill the 4 attack minion. And yeah, sure. That's decent. I'm hoping he'll trade the 5/9 into the 6/4, and it'll give me something good. Good, excellent. There was no polymorph then. Yeah, that's not bad. That kills the 5/3. Oh, okay. He plays a taunt and a dragon egg. Exciting. Ping the egg. Yep, next level play. Ping your own minion and get a minion. Yeah, sure. That's really good. I think a lot of players wouldn't even ponder or consider pinging their own egg to draw a minion there. That's a really good play. And when you're under pressure, you forget about plays like that. Anyway, I've got a good hand. I've got Truesilver, Blessing of Kings, which has sort of come at the right time, I think. So I can plough through his 3/5 taunt with the 5/4, or I can use Blessing of Kings on the 2/2 and plough through it.
Another round.
I think it's more efficient to use the 5/4. Yeah, he can ping it, but yeah, so what? Okay, that's fine. The priority is to get the damage off the board, and I've just done that. The 5 attack is gone, and now it's time.
Reporting for duty.
That's not too bad. So, the MVP of this series, along with the Dark Iron Dwarf, is the Murloc Knight. And look at that, the respect for the Murloc Knight once again, killing it off. Of course. And I'm in firm control here. I have more cards, I have a bigger board. That 0/1 is not going to do anything. Yep.
Your mother was a Murloc.
Your mother was a Murloc. Okay, Evil Heckler. I think the Mage realises this is it now, it's endgame, more or less. At this juncture, you have this feeling of euphoria. You're really happy, you know? You're just like, yeah, nothing can stop me now. Not even a Flame Strike. Not even a Flame Strike. And, do you know what? I'm going to clear that. I just want to be safe, and I want to play around MC Tech, because MC Tech is actually something that could wreck me here, potentially. And even then, no, I'm in a good position. Yeah. Oh, there it is, Flame Strike. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. So, this is it. 12 wins. You know, it's so fascinating, this run. You know, we've had a number of cards that were MVPs. Aldor Peacekeeper was good. Dark Iron Dwarf was really good. The Murloc Knight, particularly in some of the early games, just helped me flood the board. Such a good card. I was also shocked with the number of mages that I faced up against in the late game. Well, I shouldn't say shocked. I should say not surprised, but also shocked, because I was hoping that some of the other classes would have come through post-TGT, but no, it seems that mages and paladins are still the standard bearers of Arena here. But all in all, a really interesting run. This paladin deck pretty much had one of everything in it. You know, one of every card you'd want. You know, it had a copy of Avenge, Shielded Minibot, Aldor Peacekeeper, Truesilver Champion, Silent Knight, Blessing of Kings, Seal of Champions, and so on. So the only thing it didn't have was Equality Consecration, and actually quite often Consecration is such a valuable card to help you get back into the game in Arena. So the fact that I didn't have that and still managed to get the 12 wins, I'm quite grateful for. But all in all, it's been a very successful Arena run. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Do check out my YouTube channel for my other videos, which feature Constructed and Arena games. Right, I'm so silly. I've just realised that the mage who beat me in that game, causing me to go 11-2, that mage is the same mage that faced me in my last game, which got me 12 wins. So yeah, I can't believe I didn't spot it when I was playing the 12th game. The game for the 12th win. I can't believe it because he was playing the same cards. I was shocked and surprised when I saw the Abusive Sergeant Big Game Hunter combo. And yet I'd already seen it in the game before. And so for some reason I didn't make the connection when I was playing that the mage in my last match for the 12th win was the same mage that beat me in the previous match. So actually now it makes me happy knowing that I got the 12th win by beating that mage, because it proves that my deck was capable ultimately of winning still. But yeah, for some bizarre and strange reason, I didn't make the connection that it was the same mage, and you can tell it's the same mage because you look at the mage I was playing, look at the character name, it was the same one. So I can't believe it. I didn't make the connection, and it's even more fascinating to go back and compare the games now, those two games, because if I'd made the connection that it was the same mage, would I have played differently? Would I have expected the Abusive Sergeant Big Game Hunter combo, or would I have still played in exactly the same way that I did play? Anyway, just thought I'd add that in as a reflection on those last two games.